Now that you've watched the two videos over working with negative exponents and the exponent of 0, let's try a few examples together. Write each expression using positive exponents. As we saw in the previous videos, when we're working with negative exponents, we need to be thinking about the reciprocal. 8 to the negative second power is 8 to the negative second power over 1. In order for it to become a positive exponent, we want to use its reciprocal. So we're going to say 1 over 8 to the second power. This is the appropriate way to write it using positive exponents. 2 to the negative fourth power is over 1, and its reciprocal, so that we can lose the negative, is 1 over 2 to the fourth power. And then our last one, 3 to the negative 5 power, we can place it over 1, and then we want to flip it into its reciprocal, so 1 over 3 to the fifth power. This is how we write negative exponent expressions with a positive exponent. One thing that we saw is that when we have a power of 0, that we end up having a 1. Anything to the power of 0 is going to be equivalent to 1. Negative 7 raised to the power of 0 is 1. 43 raised to the power of 0 is 1. 1 to the power of 0 is 1. And 0.5 or 5/10 raised to the power of 0 is 1. So ultimately, any number raised to the power of 0 is 1. Our last ones, write each expression using positive exponents. At the top section, we saw that if we had a negative exponent, we used its reciprocal to get rid of the negative exponent. The same is going to occur here. We have 1 over 5 to the negative 3. 5 to the negative 3 is in the denominator of the fraction. So in order to get rid of its negative exponent, we are going to move it to the numerator. We're going to make it its reciprocal. So that would be 5 to the third power over 1, or 5 to the third power. 1 over 2 to the negative sixth power. In order to make it positive, we need to use its reciprocal. 2 to the negative sixth needs to be moved into the numerator position. So we end up with 2 to the sixth power over 1, or 2 to the sixth power. I would also like to do an evaluate problem with you. This one starts out on your paper as 27x to the power of 0, y to the power of negative 2. When we evaluate and we are given specific values for our variables, we want to substitute these. We are told x is 4 and y is 3. So we are going to replace the x with the 4 and the y with the 3. As you do this, I want you to take the time to put parentheses where the variable was. So we have 27. I'm going to put parentheses down where the x was, put a 0. And inside where the x was, we're going to put the 4. Now we have the y. I'm going to put down parentheses to the negative 2 power. And where the y was, we're going to put a 3. According to the order of operations, we're going to do the exponents first. We're going to keep the 27 where it is. 4 to the power of 0 is 1. 3 to the negative 2 power. It's got a negative exponent, so we want to get rid of the negative exponent. And in order to do that, we need to use its reciprocal, which is 1 over 3 to the second power. Getting rid of that fraction and that exponent that we still have, we have 27 times 1, which is 27. And 1 over 3 squared is equivalent to 1 over 9. Now we want to multiply these two. 27 over 1 times 1 over 9 is 27 over 9, which reduces to 3. 3 is the final simplification of the given expression. Now I want you to do the day 2 lesson along with the next 2 handouts. There are a total of 3 handouts for this lesson. I want you to practice them, and I will answer any questions that you have during our virtual conferencing time. And if you have any questions that I can't get to or you can't get to virtual conferencing, you can also get a hold of me via your inbox on Canvas. And I will upload answers in a couple of days so that you can check your work. Remember, check your work after you try it. Don't just copy the answers. If all you're doing is copying the answers, you are not learning, and we learn from our mistakes. So try it, and if you don't get things right, ask questions. That is what I am here for. Have a good day.